in. So we still don't see a resolution in the Middle East. Okay, Strait of Hormuz is still by all means closed, and 20% of the world's oil is still MIA. Now, let's take a quick look and see how the DAC is reacting. Oh, look at that. How are things today in terrible hood? Absolutely terrible. Good. Good. Start over at the we could just start here at the 4 hour. So we already have our macro liquidity levels drawn out. We are just going to draw out our liquidity levels on the shorter time frame here. Let me just go ahead and delete these. Yeah, things are looking pretty cooked today. So, as I've been saying, we are at this major inflection point in the markets. If I pull up the daily, you'll see exactly what I mean. Right, we are right on the cusp still of this massive liquidation event. Yeah, you can click them and then hit delete. That's the easiest way to delete those lines. So we're right at the cusp of this massive liquidation event. Again, if we go just a little bit lower, you're going to see a lot of delevering of long positions, and you'll probably see a bunch of short positions close at the same time. So when you have conditions like this in the overall market, this is where the heavily shorted equities are in a spot where they can squeeze. And this is also the spot where um, anything that's being propped up by derivatives, uh, bullish traded derivatives, could completely collapse. So I just want to caution everyone and say, hey, be a little fucking careful today. I know that I say that every day, but that is because we are in an area where it is more necessary than ever to make sure that we are staying safe. Okay. So please, please, please don't do anything crazy. Okay. There's that first and foremost. And with that being said, let's go ahead and draw out our liquidity levels. Had some, I don't know. It's crazy because we're kind of just getting all this whiplash back and forth on the conflict in Iran, and oh, okay, they're potentially accepting a ceasefire. Nope, wait, never mind. We didn't talk to them. So it's really hard to tell what is actually true right now. Um, as it turns out, sometimes people fucking lie. So just keep that in mind as you're going through, the news every day. Like, yes, we're very low liquidity in the markets right now. And when we have low liquidity, that's where we can get these big wild price swings. So just make sure that you are protecting yourselves. Probably don't want to trust the first pump you see today. Okay, just throwing that out there. This is probably not the time to be like, oh my God, we had one green candle. It's time to long. We're so back. We're going to the moon. No, you're not going to the moon. Things look fucking awful. Okay? So just be aware that this is likely going to go down a bit more during market open. We're going to wait and see and play what actually starts happening. But things aren't looking great, guys. Things aren't looking great. So just be cautious. In other news, We are seeing some discounts on some really good long-term names. So if you are swing trading equities or long-term investing in equities, there are some really good deals right now. There's some really good deals and some good dips to buy. It will take patience. There is a possibility that they could bleed for a little bit longer, but there's some really good opportunities. So if you aren't in the Warrior program, you're missing out on really, really clear, easy trades and investments. So number one, I guess, go do that. And number two, if you're not trading any equities or investing long term, why the fuck aren't you? Really, why the fuck aren't you? All right. Got just like 2 more to go here.
Yeah, Dan, we will get that fixed. Don't worry.
What's happening?
He says to your question why they are not investing in long-term stocks, and then he said, "Cause I'm broke."
Yeah, that's kind of the case with the US right now. So, let's let's uh let's make some fucking money today. We've had a really good week so far. So, things are looking good. Things are looking good for us. I mean, not for the markets, okay? Not for the markets in general. This looks like shit. But we've been doing good. So, we'll just keep doing good. We'll keep doing good while everyone else gets liquidated, following their favorite fraudulent influencer, and we're totally gonna be good, guys. We're totally gonna be good because we're not gonna fall into stupid emotional traps. Okay, we're not gonna fall into the stupid emotional traps. So if at some point you feel like you're getting tilted today, just walk away for a few minutes, regain composure. Right, things are things are likely to move really, really slow and then really quick all at once. Really quick all at once. Yo, Icarus is a fucking boomer. Yeah, no revenge trading. Exactly, Leames. No revenge trading. All right. So we got a NASDAQ done. I want to just quickly uh, talk about a few different stocks too while we have a little bit of time in the morning, because we haven't really gotten any like news that we could trust. So, we'll go over this instead, right? Unless you guys want to hear me talk about how the Strait of Hormuz being closed and how a bunch of oil refineries getting hit affects us. I think we've all been over that nonstop for the last week and a half, 2 weeks at least. It's been almost a month, to be honest with you. I know we were talking about it right after it happened. So yeah, it's been about a month. Um, oh, dude, Icarus to sing. That'd be good. Get wrecked, neighbors. Not Cole wants to come up and speak. What do you want to talk about, Not Cole? That's the question. Oh, okay. He put his hand down. All right. So, Riley doing pretty good. Just still sitting at the top of this demand zone. We have, you know, higher lows, the same level highs. They're not really higher. It's just kind of getting up here, stalling out, coming back down. We are seeing a contraction in the volatility, which is really interesting. It's making options very cheap. So, this seems to be a pretty good. This seems to be a pretty good, spot to enter. The big catalyst is next week when they do their earnings release and the associated call. So, looking forward to that one. Looking forward to that one. Um, I have heavily been considering shorting Newsmax because that's just an awful company, and they do terrible business. So, take that for what it's worth. But that's something that I've been considering. So, you know, just keep an eye on that. Nvidia is sitting at a pretty decent buy point, I think. I wouldn't want to get locked into any kind of options right now. So, if anything, I would take a small speculative position and plan on holding it for the longer term. Right? That's what seems to make the most sense to me, is to take that small speculative position and just kind of hang out. Um, we are also keeping track of BZAI and ooh, no, that's not the one that I want. I don't want boats. NASDAQ. There we go. So, in case you guys missed it, one of the things that we have been swing trading has been this BZAI straddle. We had an opportunity to take gains on our calls here, and we had opportunities to take gains on puts down here and load the calls up nice and cheap. And then we had a big opportunity where I think all of us exited our calls. And now we're kind of waiting to get back down towards this liquidity level, to be able to pick up some more calls, because I don't think that this volatility is going to stop. So very, very exciting times here. This is an AI shit company. They 20x their revenue, but they're still not profitable yet. Okay, still not profitable, because 20xing almost nothing is still almost nothing, right? But regardless, this company does seem to be doing the right things. It's very speculative, so I wouldn't want to take a big position, but I think that trading the volatility on it is a really good idea. And so far, it's been a really good idea. I mean, this thing's been literally a fucking money printer for anyone that's been doing it, right? It's been an absolute money printer. So don't sleep on that. Just some friendly little tips for the penny stock world. All right, let's get our liquidity levels drawn out on US 30 here. And again, I'm drawing these liquidity levels up because there is obviously always the chance that we can go up. But I don't think that this thing is going to be able to run up and like flip green today unless we have some major news come out. The orange one is speaking later. So we're going to see what he says, because normally what he says ends up crashing the fucking market. Or it at least confuses everyone to the point where they sell off, because it's just going to go back and forth, back and forth. So we're not going to watch that live. But we do want to be cognizant of it a little bit later today. I don't even think he's going to be live during our stream. So that's good. That's good. Because that's the absolute worst, when something gets said and the market just reacts fucking immediately. That's rough, man. That's rough. And another little side note, everyone's been talking about the Strait of Hormuz like they're an expert on the Middle East. Okay. But what about the gays of Hormuz? Does anyone care about them? Has anyone asked the gays of Hormuz how they're doing? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, just be friendly, be kind, right? Ask people how they're doing. even if they're not straight in Hormuz, okay? Just ask. I know it was a stupid joke. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. We also have been seeing some pretty good momentum on Walmart. So, you know, bear that in mind. Everyone else has been eating absolute shit. Walmart's been doing actually pretty good, right? Like if we look at it, we zoom out a little bit. Look at this clear trend still intact, even with this drop off. We have a very clear trend intact here. So it's doing pretty good. Oh fuck, Vision. That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. Vision roasted me, guys. He roasted me. I'm cooked. I'm cooked, chat. We're fucking cooked. Ah!
Am I the only one that doesn't get it?
Oh, it's because you weren't here for my original joke, huh?
I was.
I said, ask the gays of Hormuz how they're doing, so he asked me how I was doing. He called me gay.
Oh.
Yeah. That's all. That's all. No big deal. Just a little early morning disrespect. Like what we're about to do to this fucking chart if it keeps going down, man. We're gonna disrespect the shit out of it. We all will not support you. Thanks, dude. It means so much. It means so much. Yeah, Walmart's been doing pretty good. We were just talking about Nvidia. So Nvidia is bleeding in pre-market. This is kind of, towards the area that I would like to pick it up at. Would be, if at all possible, down towards like 170. Even though it is really obviously highly valued, we can see that it's not for no reason, right? They've been doing great. They slightly beat every estimate every single time. Absolutely been flying. We could see that the data center orders have not slowed down, right? And one of the ways that we could see that is by looking at their revenue. We see their margin expanding. These guys are making 63% of their revenue is profit. You know how incredible that is for a hardware company, okay, to make a margin of 63%. That's actually bonkers. It's crazy. Okay, it's crazy. These guys, their PE is like 35 right now, something like that. I think that shows somewhere here. Yeah, look. PE ratio 35. So like shit's looking pretty good, Like that's a pretty reasonable price to pay for Nvidia. If you look at a lot of their other competitors, they're priced fucking 50, 100. What's the price to earnings ratio? So that is basically a quick snapshot of how the company is doing and if they're cheap on a relative basis, if they're cheap or expensive, right? Overpriced or underpriced. And the way that we find it is by having a ratio between their earnings per share and the price. So anything like under 20 is usually a steal. Kind of depending on the business. I mean, if it's a fucking pet rock business, maybe buying it at a PE of 20 isn't a good deal. But we're not talking about a pet rock business. We're talking about Nvidia. So even 35 is a good deal. Okay. Then you look at something like Riley, right? And again, this is so we can at a quick glance see what, or rather, see what the premium attached to buying this company would be, right? And in the case of Riley, uh, that price to earnings is actually 1.45. So that's one of the things that I'm looking at when I'm saying like, look, this thing is criminally undervalued, right? That's one of the things that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the price to earnings ratio, um, and you could also look at the price to book, right, which is kind of doing the same thing. It's a ratio between the price and it's a ratio between the price and basically the book of business, right? The book value of the company. So, those two things are good for just kind of getting a quick overview of a company. Um, if you want to know more in-depth things about them, you'll have to go into the filings, or you'll have to just sign up for the Warrior tier because I go over all of this shit. Okay. Is it smart to just buy Nvidia or the S&P 500 as of right now for long-term investment? Let it sit for 10 years and only add up into it. So if you are looking at a long time frame, and by a long time frame, I literally mean like the next 20 years, you'll probably do really good. Uh, stocks, especially the S&P 500, which generally has a bunch of higher quality stocks, it generally tends to only go up in the long term. But I do want to caution you because, the economy is slowing and there is potential. I'm not saying it's going to happen this way, but there is potential for us to have a few dead years, right? Like I remember at the end of 2021 through 2022, the market was like largely flat. Like things were just not moving because we had this big liquidity crisis. Okay. And, a lot of people really got bored out of their investments just to watch them literally triple and quadruple, in a few months right after. So just, just, it really depends on the time frame that you are operating in. If it's really long term, you know, the S&P 500 is a good bet. It is really tech heavy, and there are a lot of ETFs for it, so it is quite volatile. And I would just say, it shouldn't be the only thing that you're holding, right? I would buy the S&P 500 as a proxy for all the tech stuff, and I would still want to focus on, obviously oil, gold, right? The more safe traditional assets and commodities. I'm also really big on grains, so it's important to be diversified and not have all of your eggs in this tech basket for long-term investing. Isn't it better to invest into things that pay dividends for the long term? Well, it could be, um, but what you also have to understand is that the biggest gains really usually come from these high growth companies. But you have to find the high growth company. You have to get it right. Okay. The dividends are really, really good for passive income, right? Because what you'll generally do with the dividends, especially if you're not living off of them, right? Because you're not fucking 70 yet. So you're going to be just reinvesting those dividends, and yeah, it kind of compounds on itself. Coca-Cola is a wonderful investment. Uh, they pay a nice 3.5 to 4% dividend annually, um, somewhere in that range over the course of the last few years. And yeah, yeah. So just be aware. Not everything has to be a dividend, right? Like not everything has to pay a dividend. The dividend stocks are really good, but you know, you also want to balance it with some growth, especially if you're going to be holding for a long time, and you're not nearing retirement age, which is where you would probably want to go more into those dividends. Um, you must mean Oak Low, heh, and it's not. That thing's fucking awful. No experience in that vision. No experience in that. So you said you're looking to park your scalping profit so it doesn't get eaten by taxes and inflations. Well, we happen to have an entire channel dedicated to that for Warriors. Like we literally have an entire channel dedicated to that. Aspect is asking how come oil prices ain't just going up and comes back down? Wouldn't it just keep rising? Well, nothing goes straight up. Okay, nothing goes straight up. Even during a squeeze, nothing goes straight up. So what you have to realize is that oil sitting at 94 a barrel is already very elevated. And it is generally going up. Like here, okay, good. We're on Riley. I'll swap out of that. Like if we look at the daily chart on this is going up. Like that this is a huge deal. So this right here was the last day before we before we started bombing Iran and fighting in that conflict. And then literally the following Monday, right? News hit over the weekend. The following Monday, gaps up, sells off, and goes fucking bonkers into the sky. By the way, we did call this happening on stream. So if you weren't here for that, tough titties, right? We did tell you that oil was going to go past 100. Like over and over and over again, and that was actually one of the reasons that we held on to Chevron for so long, was because it was already working, but then the war in the Middle East hit, and it was like, all right, like we kind of got a gift on our Chevron here. Like everything else is a little tenuous, right? But oil is king right now. So, if you don't have oil in a long-term portfolio, I think you're making a big fucking mistake. You should definitely have something that benefits from these heightened oil prices. ExxonMobil, BP, and Chevron seem to be the best choices, particularly Chevron. So, take that for what it's worth. But yeah, we're going to see what happens. Not particularly wanting to trade pre-market, just because we are in a low liquidity window in the market in general. So I don't really want to trade the low liquidity time of the low liquidity window in the market. I just don't want to do it. It's not for me. All right, now let's turn on our custom indicator that was built for this room, for this chat, and for profits. It was built for profits, guys. Time to turn on our cheat code. Yeah, so we're seeing really, really, really low liquidity here. Jeez, man. You see these wicks? Let's see how New York opens. Quick breakdown of the table on the indicator. I'm going to flip that over to Icarus because he's the one that designed it. And to be honest with you, I just like hearing his voice.
So what the indicator does is essentially it gives you direction and market context. You have the delta to volume ratio, which also works together with the confidence meter and the bias up and down, and also the domination, because in the little table on the top right, you can see like the confidence, which indicates how well the market is in terms of its direction and structure. And you also have the bias up and down, which helps to identify if the trend keeps going or if it's just more flippy. Then you also have the regime, which is a three-stage model. It has quiet, tense, and explosive. And it works with the volume to delta ratio to identify like if we have big moves and if it flips a lot. And then we also have a few absorption points.
So really, with all that said, the way to use this, okay, is when you see that there's a strong domination and there's a strong delta imbalance, right, on heightened volume, or even like right now, right, you can see out of 116 uh volume, rather, okay, 159, 128 of it is bearish. So like this candle obviously has a lot of sellers in it, and you could see that by looking at the candle. But what this does is it actually gives you um, a number to go off of, right? And it lets you see, okay, this one maybe had 55% of the transactions were selling. But then we go over to this one and it's 75. And if the next one's 90, like, okay, now we have a really clear picture that there are some really big sellers stepping in. And that's just by adding the information from this into our normal decision making process. And it's really nice because we could just kind of glance at it, right? We can glance at it and see what's happening. As you can see, we were quiet, like on these candles, right? That was the regime was quiet, and things are getting a little bit tense right now. We're not sure which way things are going to go. We kind of did tap off of, uh, you know, essentially these previous lows. It's very close, right? I mean, within a dollar and a half. So this indicator is extremely helpful, and it helps you make good decisions. So if you don't have it, that's something that comes with all of our warrior stuff. And yeah, it's really good. Echoes of profitability. So for the echoes, just mute my stream, like my screen. You won't have an issue. He's locked in the bathroom. What the fuck is going on? Is someone in stream in the bathroom? He's taking a shit. He's taking a shit on the chart. Is he shitting? What are we doing? What are we talking about here?
They need the stream to relax on the toilet.
Yes, I'm glad that my voice can be a laxative for you. I hope that all of your shits are very good. I should do ASMR. Yeah, that's right. Take a nice shit. Take a nice shit and let the market take a shit with you. Did I do it right? Am I doing ASMR right? I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing it right.
Oh, you got people in chat saying, "Yo, my family is watching. You can't do that."
Nasdaq to zero. See, now that Nasdaq to zero, that sounds like a fragrance, right? That sounds like a perfume commercial. Nasdaq to zero, the new scent coming out by the NQ trading room. We're about to expand into a whole bunch of different segments, right? You get some Nasdaq to zero brand cereal in the morning. You wake up and you're like, man, it might just go to zero today. And the more you eat, the lower it goes. The more you eat, the lower it goes. All right. Well, the point of control shifted up. It was held. So let's see what happens going forward. Don't really have too much to talk about regarding news. I don't really want to trade pre-market. This is something that we generally don't do on stream, and it is because it is low liquidity and low volume, and we want to make sure that we are keeping ourselves safe. So unless we get like a really clear move, like if we were streaming for this, this potentially could have been something. Probably not. Like I still wouldn't want to touch it. And it's just a precaution to keep us safe. We had a nice little gap down here. Look at that. Look at that gap. And filled. Perfect. It seems like on the indices, gaps fill almost immediately. So, that was really interesting. Can having an STD affect your trading? Asking for a friend. Yes, it absolutely could. Syphilis will actually make you go insane. It'll go into your brain and make you insane. Fun fact for you guys. Did you know that syphilis initially was an airborne virus? And the reason that it didn't survive is because it was killing off the host. And so it eventually ended up evolving into being something that wasn't immediately lethal, and resting in the private parts, right, in your downstairs organs. So that virus has evolved over time. And yeah. What is an airborne virus? That is something that can be spread through particles in the air. You need some music for your TikTok, brain. This is too low dopamine. Man, you fucking kids, okay? You fucking kids with your goddamn low attention span. You just chill, okay? Market's gonna be open in a second. We'll put on some AI generated hip hop for you.
Awesome.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, I couldn't forget that. Yeah, I'm just kind of watching these equities on my phone too, and watching to see if there's like a big shift before market open. And a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of them that are kind of moving red. Anna's back up to $8, so that thing's just been going wild. That's the gift that keeps on giving. Lots of trading opportunities on that fucking thing. Lots of trading opportunities on that one. Seeing Quantum get shorted down into the fucking ground this morning as well. All the quantum computer shit. Oh god, I do remember that nasty shit, Lieutenant Dan. Don't Google that, guys. Don't Google blue waffle. Unless you want your last meal to come up. Bad? Okay, it's very bad. Things are bad there. But then again, I grew up with, in the generation of being able to go and watch like ISIS beheadings on live leaks. So, oh God. Oh God, lemon party. Yeah, the young internet was crazy. Okay, the young internet was fucking crazy. That's what I have to say. We got a really nice rejection off of this liquidity level here, and it gap down. Holy fuck! Yeah, see, this is why we don't trade pre-market, man. This is kind of a fucking mess. So, you know, hoping we get some better price action during market open. Again, be very cautious today. Be very reserved, and this is the reason that we don't just blindly trust the first pump. Right? Like, this is a mistake. This is a trap. It literally moves up to gather a bunch of liquidity, and everyone sees this trend. They think it's going to go on forever. They end up buying and FOMOing in, and that's where the rug gets pulled. So, you know, think about the way that you should approach trading, right? And the thing that you should always be thinking about is who is getting fucked over. And if you can't identify who is getting fucked over, that's because it's probably you, right? If you don't know who your exit liquidity is, that's because you are the exit liquidity.
Bro, starting beef with the community.
No, it's not about starting beef. It's not about starting beef with the community. What it is letting you know, like, that's a pretty common rule of finance. Like, if you can't figure out who the loser is in the situation, then it's likely you, right? Because we like to overlook that kind of thing when it comes to us. Dude, I'll be your exit liquidity. Let's go jump into a penny stock with me. We'll find a little micro cap, little nano cap, $1 million market cap. Fucking IFIS. All right, just a little heads up. Nobody buy IFIS. IFUS. That's an awful one. Don't touch it. Don't ever buy it. It's garbage. Yeah, sell it all. Potentially a little breakout. It's trying. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see us come up like here before market open and then just flush right back down. That would be fucking epic. Dude, make a FOT meme coin. I won't like officially endorse it, but I want to hold most of it. No reason. We have to ban someone named Deborah from the server that has a picture of a man on their profile that is spamming. Look at that. Fucking
Deborah.
God damn it, Deborah. Debbie, what the fuck? What the fuck, Debbie? Get out of here. Get out of here.
Literally the most AI generated picture of a German dude.
Yeah, didn't you see that? That was funny as fuck, right?
Damn.
Deborah's your art teacher. You should
Shout out.
shout out to Deborah, the art teacher. We're gonna dedicate this one to Debbie, the frumpy 50-year-old woman wearing overalls covered in acrylic paint. Shout out to Debbie. You know, I had a Aunt Debbie. You know what happened? You know what happened to my Aunt Debbie? She died. Unrelated. I just wanted to talk about it and let you know.
Man, that's dark.
Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace to all the true Debbies out there. Fucking, I don't know, man. We're just riffing at this point. I'm practicing for my Type 5 at the Chuckle Hut, okay? We're going to be doing some stand-up later. I'll be here till Tuesday. Thank you. I'm surprised this is holding up like right now. I'm surprised it's held up for 3 minutes. I genuinely am. If we can get our wish of this thing coming up here in pre-market and then flushing back down, we're going to be so happy. Are we expecting longs today? Not particularly. Debbie is such a Karen name. Those are both first names. People generally don't have two first names, right? So what would it be? Like Debbie Karen Johnson, Karen Debbie Johnson? Like, I don't know, man. That doesn't flow very well. So I don't know if Debbie's a Karen name. I feel like Debbie's a Debbie name. Yeah, you guys move the markets. Hehe and Aspect are gonna, they're just gonna fucking move it for us, guys.
All right.
Okay. Well, we are going to be starting pretty soon. Like, we have market open pretty soon. So I am going to go have my morning crack. I mean caffeine. And then yeah, we'll get going.
Damn.
We'll get going. So Icarus, would you mind taking over for just a few minutes? And I will be right back. And we will see if we can get the things that we want to happen on this chart. I'll be right back.
Great. Now I'm alone with you guys. All right, Chad. Quick question. Have you guys seen this Anthropic ticker on TradingView? Because I saw that yesterday and I was like, wait, since when is Anthropic public? Turns out it is not. And what's actually going on here is way more interesting than just another stock listing. The Anthropic ticker, it's for the company. So what is Anthropic actually? So for anyone who doesn't know, Anthropic is basically one of the biggest AI companies right now. They're the team behind Claude, which is a direct competitor to ChatGPT. But the key difference is their positioning. They are not trying to be flashy or consumer first. They are going for what I'd call safe, controlled, enterprise-grade AI. Think less hype, more reliability, less chaos and more alignment. This kind of stuff. And the fake ticker situation is actually quite interesting. Because that ticker you see on TradingView, that's not a real stock. What you're actually looking at is something called a pre-IPO secondary market price. So what does it mean? Early investors or employees selling shares privately on platforms like Forge or Hive. And TradingView takes that data and turns it into something that looks like a stock chart. But in reality, you can buy it. There's almost no liquidity and the pricing is kinda made up for private deals. Now here's the crazy part. Anthropic is already valued at something like $300 to $400 billion, and they're still private. Let that sink in. That means if they IPO tomorrow, they would be instantly one of the biggest tech companies in the world. And the reason they can do that, they've raised insane amounts of money from companies like Amazon and Google. Now the real question is, what's their plan? And from what it looks like, they're playing a very different game than most AI companies. Instead of rushing to go public, they're stacking private capital first, which gives them more control, less pressure, and no public market expectations. At the same time, they're positioning themselves as the trusted AI provider, meaning governments, corporations, and big institutions, that's their target, not random users, not hype, and real power clients. So now, will they IPO? So will they go public? Most likely, yes, but the timing is everything because right now AI hype is high. Valuations are extreme and capital is still flowing. So they can afford to wait an IPO at the absolute peak. Now, from a trader perspective, this is actually interesting because even though you can't trade Anthropic directly, you can trade the ecosystem around it. So think about it. Nvidia is AI infrastructure. You have Amazon, which is invested heavily, and big tech, AI race in general. So instead of trading the company, you trade the narrative. But I'm curious, would you guys actually buy Anthropic if it IPOs? Or do you think AI is already overvalued right now? Because honestly, this might be one of the biggest bubbles or one of the biggest opportunities we've ever seen. It doesn't necessarily have to pop like 2008 because 2008 is an entirely different market. It was the housing market. They can try. I mean, OpenAI already, I think, made a deal with the Pentagon, if I'm right. But I don't think the US military will buy Claude. They don't really. I, I can't see that Claude is military grade, to be honest. Like, the US military has probably much higher things. Yes, John. So you can't actually like trade Anthropic pre-IPO because they're still private. There are some workarounds, like you can trade them via Forge or Hive, but that's not like really, well, it's not really like a stock in its own. It's more like a little investment. I'm not sure.
Okay, regardless of the direction coming up, welcome back, Father. Thanks, Father. Regardless of the direction that ends up coming up, I think that we are preparing for a really big move. Can we get sell off?
An IPO is the first time a private company sells its shares to the public on a stock exchange.
Yeah, it's an initial public offering. So I would say when it comes to an IPO, generally companies IPO for two reasons. Number one is to generate cash for the company, and number two is to give early investors from the public or from the private area a little bit of exit liquidity, so that way they can take profits on their investment. So those are really the two main things to keep in mind about IPOs. Often they get run up into the sky and then they sell right off. So
Yeah, I just went over Anthropic. That's why.
US 30, holy shit. Nasdaq's just dying.
Not really.
What
Pretty
do you
muted
mean
so
not
far.
really? What do you mean not really? It's dead. It's zero. Now we want to wait for a break of structure. We got like a small break here, but
Can we IPO this Discord server?
can we IPO the Discord server? I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, would you want to invest in it? Fuck, I guess.
You can invest in it by buying Warrior.
Yo, literally, that is how we keep the lights on and keep everything, running. So, always do appreciate that. US 30 looking really good right now. Not even gonna lie. I think it would take a small. I don't know. I'm gonna wait a sec. I'm gonna wait a sec and get a little more information. We're kind of edging right at the top of this, so if we could break into this liquidity pocket and start to move up, I'm gonna feel really good about it, though. Oh wow. I'm gonna take a small US 30 long here. And filled. We got to fill at 222. Let's see what happens. This is future ticker YM, or future symbol, whatever you want to call it.
No, but in the minutes that you were away, I was talking about like Anthropic being like one of the biggest tech companies already, with
it
being
is
valued at 300 to 400 billion.
Yeah, when Anthropic IPOs, that thing's probably going in the sky. This is probably a good spot to set your stops to break even if you are in this YM trade with me. And it's hit. Jesus.
I'm about a short.
That was so quick. That was so quick. Is NASDAQ finally ready to die? It's dying. Yeah.
I just want to see a break below 870.
We're close. We're close. And a break below 870 would mean like absolute fucking death. So
yeah,
that would be
I'm
nice.
already watching on the 5 minute.
That would be nice. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it?
Aspect inversed you.
Get fucking wrecked, Aspect.
Nah, he won.
That's funny as fuck. That's funny as fuck. You cannot invest in me. We don't do initial public offerings on human beings anymore.
Anymore is good.
Well, at one point it happened, okay? And I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying that it did happen. We fought a whole war over that in the US, okay? Was I high demand? I mean, I wasn't alive back then. How old do you think I am, bro? The Civil War ended in the 1860s.
And you gotta realize you watched the dinosaurs die.
And what you have to realize is that I was a drummer boy back in the Civil War. NASDAQ looking real weak, yeah. I think I'm gonna take a small short here.
Right, long NASDAQ.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. We're almost there. Give it a sec. Because I feel like this thing's going to come crashing down. All right. All right. Come on. And I am in. All right, let's see what happens. We got our fill at 903. Let's see what happens.
We don't short Nasdaq at market open because if you do that, you will get to feel the backlash of New York being indecisive.
Yep. And plus, the first few candles, generally what they're doing is they're moving things around a lot, and they're shaking up all the liquidity for the real move. So, yeah. Just kind of waiting. I don't really like that. I'm going to take profits here.
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan, the orb strategy does work, but you can't really go for a high RR.
All right. There we go. I took profits. I'm out. Out of the NASDAQ short. We'll wait and see if this ends up, giving way and going lower. But right now we seem to be finding a little bit of support here, and I don't really like that. Yeah, look, see? I'm glad that I got out down here. Because this thing's just starting to fucking move back up. And I suspect that we're gonna run into big resistance like in between these two liquidity levels. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. What US 30 doing? Slight breakout on a very, very small scale. I mean, I guess you could call it a breakout with these four candles, like technically, but I wouldn't really trust this right now. So
that's not
just
a
kind of hanging
breakout.
out. Yeah, the breakout would really be if we broke out above this. It'd be breaking above like 256. 46, 256 would be a breakout. All right, we did hit our resistance as we expected up there. Let's see if we could do it again. I really wish that this thing would just fucking drop, man. That would be such an easy trade. It'd be a really easy trade. All right, so we've had two trades this morning. One was profitable, one was break even. So it is what it is. We're doing okay. US 30 is actually kind of showing strength here. Look at that. Look at that. We drew down and ran back up. This doesn't look awful. It's not at the point where I want to take a trade, but it doesn't look awful, okay? NASDAQ is about to die. Can we fucking do it, please? Well, what are you waiting for? Just do it already, you motherfucker. I'm trying to help you. Help you go to zero.
Lieutenant Dan, on which ticker?
Yeah.
On Dow or US30?
Long where? And also, is it wrong to be long? Like, it could be. Where are you thinking of longing? I think on US 30 you want to wait, to be honest with you. I think you want to wait. Wait and see what actually starts happening. Oh, God. Please. Oh, it's so close. We're there. We're there. Can we drop a little more?
Full board.
I'm shorting NASDAQ.
Same.
I'm in. Got filled at 863.
That's a big candle. On the 5 minute.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking sure it is. I think I'm gonna set my stop to 885. Oh, before I
That
could
is
even
done.
set it. Before I could even set it, it fucking. Okay. Stop is set.
Holding back orders. Oh no.
Uh-huh. Oh, dude, it's super choppy today. This is why I was saying, like, we want to take small positions and, you know, make sure that we're really limiting our risk here. Because days like this are notoriously difficult. This is where a lot of people get chopped out, and we just don't want to be part of that statistic. So, all right, I'm stopped out. This is fucking choppy, man. This is choppy. US 30 is really showing strength here. It's not at the point yet where I want to long, but it's fucking getting there, okay? I like how we come up and test this value area high perfectly. Oh my gosh, it's almost like the heat map's a big cheat code because it came down and touched the point of control and then it went and touched the value area high. It's almost like it's a cheat code. Who would have guessed? Yeah, US 30 looking real strong. NASDAQ struggling at these levels. Can US 30 do it? Can it do it?
It does.
It
Oh
just
my
did it.
days.
Taking small long on US 30 here.
Alright, short US 30.
And I'm in. I wouldn't want to short this fucking thing right now.
I'm only shorting when you enter.
Okay, get fucked. Setting stop to break even at this 263 here. And we are set. Big chillin', guys. We're big fucking chillin'. If you entered with me on US 30, make sure that you are set to break even, or actually better now. We're gonna want to move that up. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
move mine up
that
to
to
310.
300.
I'm exiting. I'm out. I was gonna move the stop, but then it got down to where I was gonna put the stop. So I'm out. I'm good. That was good. That was an easy little 40-point move, or a $40 move, rather. So, yeah, that was pretty good. No chop, only NASDAQ to zero. Chop the legs out from under NASDAQ. That's what we could do. Chop the legs out from under NASDAQ.
I feel like you exited a little too early there.
I did. But I am trying to, you know, keep myself safe and limit any kind of losses. I can always re-enter if I need to. You know, it is what it is. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I did it. Exit a little early. That's okay. Ooh, Nasdaq longs on the table. What are we pumping for? Oh, right. It's so that way they can distribute their bags. I think I'm taking a small long on Nasdaq here.
Oh, I'm long since 9:30.
Yep, I'm in. I got in at 971, so I'm gonna set
I'm
my
exiting
stop.
here. Exit at 981.
I'm gonna set my stop to 961, I think. All right. And stopped out. Yeah, that happened.
And the reason for my exit here, why I went out so early on 981, was because that was an 1 hour liquidity.
I was about to say you could literally look at it right here and see why. This is where we ran into a bunch of resistance right here. I thought I had the momentum to keep going. Oh my god, dude, US 30. US 30 is just going fucking nuts.
Yeah, but it also hit a liquidity line right now. So we might be reversing from here. I would keep an eye out for like
We
any
do have
potential.
these two wicks to the upside. We could see that this is where a massive shorting began yesterday, like right at the level that we're at.
Yeah, I'm shorting US 30 a little.
I think that's the right move. All right, entering small short. Okay, and we're in. Got filled at 388.
Stop is at the high of the wick.
Yeah, that seems right. I'm gonna have mine at 425. And get
Oh
hit
my days.
fucking immediately. Holy shit. Dude, US 30 is strong, man.
Where's all that buying pressure coming from?
Is there news that happened that we fucking missed? Give me a second. What is happening right now?
We had unemployment claims like about an hour ago.
Yeah, but what's happening right now?
Nothing.
Oh, apparently Trump is talking right now.
No, he's not.
Let me see.
It's late today when he talks. For me, it's like at 9 p.m. my time.
Yeah, but what is that in real people time?
Real people time, fuck off.
Oh no, this motherfucker's tweeting, bro.
Again.
Yeah. It's
Yo
nonstop.
guys,
That's all he does.
check the chat. I'm gonna drop a meme for you guys.
There you go, Chief. Good job. Yeah, good shit, Chief. I feel like whenever I'm calling you by your username that I'm being super sarcastic. Like, yeah, way to go, champ. Go get him, Tiger. Like, it almost seems condescending. You know what I mean? Like someone does something stupid, you're like, yeah, good. You get him, Chief. Sport skipper, little fella.
In Germany, we say Sportsfreund.
What does that mean?
Sports friend.
Sports friend.
Yeah, but it's not like it's more like a thing that teachers usually say when they are trying to get serious. So, Sportsfreund. Jetzt haben wir mal ein Wörtchen miteinander.
Yeah. Today is choppy.
Man.
What are we doing here?
At least I caught that long on Nasdaq.
Yeah, no, that was a good one.
Because I legit longed it from like 9:30. Just held on to it good. At 4 p.m. Fed Governor Lisa Cook will speak on financial stability and her tone will be important.
The Federal Reserve balance sheet data will be released. I'm expecting that to be fucking terrible. Not even gonna lie.
I'm too European for this. What is that?
What do you mean you're too European for it?
Yeah, what is that? The Federal Reserve balance sheet.
It shows how much money they have in the reserves.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to be turning the money printer on really soon. Quantitative easing. We're going to be printing more and devaluing the dollar.
I'm about along Nasdaq here.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm in.
I'm longing US 30.
I'm going with Nasdaq, my beloved.
Alright, I'm in. Ooh. Ooh.
Get wrecked. Is it just me or is you lagging on the stream right now?
Am I lagging?
I barely heard anything, or did you just not say anything?
I didn't say anything. It was just fucking making noise. I'm still in this fucking trade. Still in this trade.
My soldiers rise.
Because me buying and then it immediately dropping was like actually painful. Like we're looking decent now, but that initial gut reaction, I was like, fuck. Like,
oh my days, we're so back on Nasdaq.
We're so back. It's so over. We're so back. It's so over.
I got my fill on Nasdaq at 24,001.
I'm barely green on this position right now. I just held through some fucking red. Okay.
Me too.
I deserve it. Send me. Fly me to the moon. Let me play amongst the stars.
No, you get an inverse. Alright, I'm break even on Nasdaq. If it now goes against me, then so be it. But I will hold on for dear life.
I'm still holding on to this fucking US 30 long. In fact, I think I'm going to add some.
I want the biggest moon candle now ever. Come on, Nasdaq. I know you can do it. Give me the moon.
And I have an average of 463. Let's see what happens.
Damn, I got stopped out at break even, or did I? Not yet. Yeah, now I am. That's poopy.
All right, adding a little bit here.
You're adding to that?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm feeling really strongly about this for whatever reason. I'm not advising you guys to follow me on this. Okay, added.
You're concerning me, mate.
Added.
You're having a double top on the 1 second chart on US 30.
I got my average to 455.
Fuck, dog. I don't know.
Again, I'm not recommending that you follow me. We're doing some crazy shit up here right now, okay? That's what you need to realize. That's all you need to realize.
He's working from the promised lands. I'm re-entering long on Nasdaq. Oof.
I'm just buying every fucking dip, dude. That's what's happening right now. I've had 3 buys up here already.
Bro's pumping single-handedly the US 30 up.
No, much flip between red and green over and over again, though.
It's hard. Holy shit. Alright, stopped on Nasdaq. I got absolutely violated. I'm shorting US 30.
I'm getting out here. Okay, I'm out.
Can we please
Jesus fucking
not?
Christ, man.
Oh my days, look
I'm
at this.
So glad that I got out because I was way heavily positioned, dude. Oh my god.
Holy fuck.
I got out with like a small standard loss because it was literally my average was at 455 and I got out at 451 and dude, fuck, dude. I am so glad because this would be killing me right now.
Dog almost got slimed by Dow.
Dude, it was close.
Taking profits here.
Ooh, hi Riley.
I am glad I took profits. What the fuck?
Thoughts on last week's price action? Don't really have too many thoughts on it. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that everything's been holding up well, but not that surprised. Oh, dude, if I held on to that.
Yeah, if you held on to that, you would have been in drawdown for life.
I don't have drawdown.
So you just sell your first porn, or how does it work?
Well, you know, it's I'm not playing with enough to be margin called. Like I would literally need to hold through like with my sizing through like a fucking $400 move to be margin called. So like it doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Chief, yeah, I'm a little surprised that things have held up so well. But you know, then again, I've seen crazier. I don't really have too many thoughts on it. Just kind of, you know, taking it day by day, seeing what's happening. For all like the long term shit, like I don't know. I don't intend to exit it, so I'm literally sitting and waiting. Oh fuck. Chief, do yourself a favor and look at Riley. They're gonna have their earnings next week, fourth quarter, and 10K for the annual results, as well as an earnings call. And I suspect that their earnings per share is gonna come in right around where their current share price is. So, you know, if that happens, that's going to be a really big deal. It's B. Riley Holding Group, or B. Riley Financials, what they used to be called. Now they're BRC Group Holdings. They're a holding company with a fucking ton of assets. And there is a little bit of debt, but it's being alleviated. So just keep an eye on that, brother. I'm long to the tits on Riley. Yeah, do that. Do that for sure.
How much of your portfolio is SLS still?
Not as much as it was.
You took some out?
So I'm holding like all of my long-term position, but I ended up trimming most of the options. Just trying to be a little bit more cautious because of what's happening right now in the overall markets. So I'm just sitting on shares as an investment.
Okay.
Yeah, I took some profits on calls, and we'll see what happens. But not as much as it was. Not as much as it was. Now Riley, on the other hand, well, fuck it. Let's run it. Let's see what happens.
You full potted Riley.
What was that?
You full potted Riley.
No, but more than probably is recommended.
Damn.
Yeah, more than you would probably recommend. You'd probably take a look at what I'm doing and you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? All right, listen, you just have to trust the process, bro. You just have to trust the process, okay? My fundamental analysis says that it's very undervalued. And no matter how I evaluate it and what valuation model I use, the answer always comes back the same. Can we stop moving fucking sideways yet?
Yo. Point of control just shifted insanely down on US 30 for me.
You said
I don't know if that's
or almost 474.
Point of control for me is at 46,135.
How the fuck do you have something different? Are you not on the 1 minute?
I am on the 1 minute. But it just shifted like insanely because we had a big volume gap, like in the range that it's in right now, between 460 and 490.
I'm entering a small short on US 30. All right, I'm in. I got in at 442. We'll see what happens.
But the volume, I think, up there got cancelled.
If you keep talking like that, you're gonna get canceled.
Why? Did you open longs?
No. No, I'm actually short. I'm actually short and getting my shit a little bit pushed in. I'm gonna set my stop at 482. I'm shorting a little more here.
I thought you were placing a stop.
I did. And I'm stopped out.
Ah.
Oh well. Today is not my day. That's okay.
You're doing fine.
I'm a little red. But I'm okay. We'll be all right. We've had a really good week so far, so you know.
I might be longing Nasdaq here.
I was looking at that. I want to see it like come back up though. Back up into this wick.
I'm only playing with the 5-minute chart at the moment on Nasdaq. I need the bigger picture. And usually the bigger picture is the 1 minute for me. Let that sink in.
Bigger picture for me is the daily. We have trading happening on Riley. The fuck are we doing?
Yo, what up, Nitrom?
What's up, Nitrom?
Sorry for seeing it that late. Well, it's not late, 2 minutes.
Yeah, just little preoccupied today.
Why is it Thirsty Thursday?
You never heard of Thirsty Thursday?
I only know ThunderCon Thursday.
I guess every day is Thirsty Thursday in Germany. Thirsty Thursday is when you get discount at the bar. Never heard that?
Nah.
It's because every day is Thirsty Thursday in Germany.
Shorts are working out on US 30 here. I held through all that. I deserve my profit now. Go down.
Dude, I'm sitting and I'm just waiting for something super clear. Because I don't want to give back all the week's gains by overtrading in one day.
I just want to see US 30 go down with its brother Nasdaq right now.
They're cousins. I think I think ES is Nasdaq's brother. I think these are cousins. We're edging right here on this liquidity level.
Yeah, that's normal Wall Street chat. I'm from Germany, so I can verify that.
Oh, absolutely, Wall Street chat. Yeah. Yeah, they do like drinking. Holy fuck. We're on US 30, I think.
I was about to take profits here. Taking profits.
I think I'm entering a short. Yeah. All right, I'm in.
Yeah, this week I learned a lot.
Still at 428. You said you learned a lot?
Yeah, about the way that I trade. If I'm right, it goes fast for me. If it doesn't, I'm wrong.
There we go. Taking profits here. There we go. Light that motherfucker out, man. Well, that helped alleviate some of the issues there. What do we got going on here? Fucking anything? It's potentially another spot to short it down. Just waiting. Waiting to see what actually ends up happening. Point of control shifted way down on US 30. On the 1 minute there. And right back up.
I don't know if my heat map is bugging or something.
Entering small short US 30 here. Alright, I'm in. Got in at 459. So we are immediately red. Sounds good. Thank you so much. Adding a little bit to the short here.
Man, damn.
All right, get the average to 470.
I'm gonna be right back.
I'm gonna get out of this. All right, I'm out. Oh, fuck. Look at that timing. Oh, shit. Today's not my day. I'm not fucking with this market, man. I'm not fucking with it. This is absolutely brutal. Well, you know, I am a bit red on the day, so I think that at this point it's time for me to stop trading and just chill. If I see something real obvious, you know, maybe I'll take that, but this is my first red day in a while, so like I had one last week. I think I had a red day last week. I'd have to go check my journal. But yeah, we were a little bit red today, or at least I am. So in the interest of you know, preserving myself, I'm gonna chill. Just chilling, waiting. Nothing really screaming at me here. And because it's not, I don't want to touch shit. But I am freeing up some things and probably going to honestly buy a little more Riley tomorrow. So I'm just feeling very fucking strongly about that. Like, very strongly. You see all this coiling happening right at the top of this demand zone. Like, dude, I'm telling you that thing is primed to move. Why is gold so shit? Well, it's because it's super volatile. Gold is super volatile lately, right? And seeing volatility in the precious metals is crazy because usually that's one of the more like stable hedges. Oh god, we're so close to having some kind of really big move. I want to see us come down below these candles to short. I feel like it can happen relatively quickly, though. I mean, this is only like fuck $20 away. Like that can happen in the blink of an eye. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling, Wall Street Chad. Catch you later, bro.
I think I heard a faint stop loss hit.
No, but what you could have heard from me. What the fuck is that noise? They added static into one of the AI generated. That's fucking annoying. I thought everything just died there for a second on the little music we have going on the recording. Yeah, I mean, today has not worked out really in my favor. So this is one of those days where, again, we have to take some precautions to keep ourselves safe. And I think that mine right now is going to be walking away. It's going to be walking away, right? Because I'm struggling to get a read on it every time that I'm taking a position, right? It's just kind of moving against me. So, these are the days where, unfortunately you can't win them all, right? You can't win them all. And one of the biggest things that we could do, really goal number one, is to survive. And over trading is not going to help me do that, right? It's not going to further that goal for me. So, in the interest of keeping myself safe, this is the time where, it's probably the better decision for me to just walk the fuck away instead of continuing to trade and not be able to get the beat on things and take these small losses as they add up, right? Just not something that I particularly want to do. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. So I think that what I'm gonna do is we'll end the stream now. I'll keep an eye out and see if there's any kind of change a little bit later in the day, but right now, things are just not looking great. So yeah. Well, let me do that then.
Maybe we'll get a power hour.
Yeah, we might get power hour. We have to wait and see what actually ends up happening, like throughout the course of today. Because right now, this is just the whole thing's fucking cooked. We're just consolidating in a range, and I really don't want to range trade. I don't like it. So, sorry, I don't like doing it on small time frames. I like doing range trading on higher time frames, like the daily. So, all right, everybody. Well, let me get going. Thank you for stopping in. We're going to be doing another stream tomorrow for all the warriors, potentially one for power hour. Well, let's see. That would be today, not tomorrow. So let's see how things go, see if we can do a power hour one, and pardon me. And let's also make sure that we're keeping an ear out, because I am going to be putting out a video regarding private credit at some point, in the next few days. Just have a little bit more research to do, and that's going to be a really, really interesting video. It's going to kind of go over some of the potential impacts of the private credit crisis that we are currently facing, and sorry, I keep yawning, and give you guys a little bit of insight as to what is actually happening. So keep your eyes out for that. and yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will catch you very soon. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Take care.
Bye bye.